So I think a lot of people here won't necessarily know all the terms, but maybe could you just quickly explain social data graph, what that is, and up to this point, let's take this in steps.
Sure.
But what has been the evolution to today to give kind of the audience like a starting base?
Sure. So, the experience at Google was really the foundational experience around what it meant to get scale out companies built in the consumer space. And I think one of the early realizations that we had as an industry, and some of us really nailed into it early on, is that if you want to build a successful scale-out consumer product company, it's really around getting proprietary insight into your users that no other company has access to. And the minute you actually understand your users in a way that no other company can understand, because you have access to either their behavioral data or access to how they relate to each other, you win to a large extent. And then, of course, there are all the product mechanisms that you can build into it. So when we talk about the social graph, a lot of that was pioneered in the early days by Friendster, by Facebook. This was really just bringing your offline networks online. And on top of that, we started to then build everything around content, vis-a-vis the self-expression tools like Instagram, like Snapchat. Snapchat we put more in the category of communications. We brought on the commerce graph, vis-a-vis, I would say, Pinduoduo in China. There are a bunch of these different companies. The interest graph, we had Pinterest, we had Tumblr was part of the interest graph. And we were bringing on all these different contexts of how users were interacting with each other with the social element layered on top of it. Now, one thing to note is that as all these companies start to develop, you would notice that the data that we really started to get access to was how a user was extrinsically related to their social network. So we got data around their behaviors with others, their behaviors with the products, their behaviors with content, their behaviors with their shopping interests.